Hello and welcome back to the Dad-Bod Nerd channel. Today we're looking at the She-Hulk Attorney at Law official trailer, and I'll break it down a little bit, hopefully not too terribly long. I try not to make videos more than about 10-15 minutes. You may not see because of the banner at the bottom. This is from the Entertainment channel, so I just want to make sure I give them some credit. This is from their channel. Let's go ahead and watch.
Being a superhero is a trial by
We've got
fire.
Mark Ruffalo's voice.
Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends.
Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.
A demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
Alright, so right off the bat, we actually have some great exposition here. I mean, they definitely do tell us about her, which is a good storytelling technique, especially for the trailer. There are a lot of times where the trailer doesn't tell us much about the character besides the name, and I just mean overall, not necessarily Marvel. So we understand that obviously her profession is she is a lawyer. She claims she has great friends. Of course, we get that one quick scene in the bar where her friend is telling the bartender, or yelling at the bartender, that they need some shots for whatever situation. She claims she has a demanding job, so it's likely that she's had a hard day at work, and that's the reason why her friend is asking for those shots. Let's see. Her boss has just said that they are creating the superhero law division, and he wants her to head it up. Of course, the look on her face right now is, oh my goodness. So obviously she's either unsure if she can do that, or she's shocked. Not exactly sure. The last shot, right before this scene changed, is Tim Roth. And if you remember, Tim Roth was I believe his character was a mercenary in that last Incredible Hulk movie, where he plays Abomination. And you do see him as Abomination. Let's see, where is it? I didn't want to have to search for it because that's going to take forever. It's in the trailer. I'll get to it. But yeah, you do see Abomination in the trailer. And so that's very interesting that they actually brought Abomination back, although I'm not quite sure if Abomination is going to be an actual villain that she'll face in the show. But I do find it interesting that it does seem like they might be bringing the mundane problems of the everyday lives of superheroes that Marvel actually does utilize in the comics into this show. So that would be interesting to see. But let's continue, because after reviewing the trailer the first time, I'm not entirely impressed, and we'll continue, and you might see why.
And a frustrating family.
Cause we didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
Alright, so obviously that was Marvel's, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe's current MO, modus operandi of their humor, which is supposed to be self-deprecating, little quips, but I don't know, that just kind of seemed not very nice to all women. I mean, and I myself, I have 3 sisters and my mother, and I don't know very many women who would actually take kindly to that moniker. I mean, they might agree, but at the same time, they would still be kind of offended. Yeah, the baseline of any woman existing being anger and fear. Ooh. Although at least they did get right that the transformation is triggered. Well, for the Hulk, it's actually mostly anger. I'm not sure about fear. It's pretty much all anger. I don't understand why they put in fear there. So that's actually really interesting, because fear... The only way I could think for them to justify that is fear leading as a survival mechanism, the fear of, being harmed, leading to the anger of, I can't believe this thing is going to hurt me, which causes a transformation. But the only thing I can think of, because throughout the Hulk's entire existence in comics, it's always anger that triggers. Where there's the danger of being hurt, it pisses him off, not necessarily the fear of being hurt. So, and then just, yeah, that's kind of weird to me.
Oh.
This is interesting.
If I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes.
Nice display of strength.
Yes.
This, I kind of feel like they made the doors specifically so she could grab onto them, and that's actually kind of annoying to me. I mean, the character is She-Hulk. Why wouldn't you just punch the door or push it exactly like she did with, that? Why would you have to have it so that you could grab it?
No.
I mean, yeah, you can show off the feat of strength that way, sure, but at the same time, she could have kicked the door or just punched it. It just seemed a little unnecessary to give it handles.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is? Jen, you're a story now.
And then that, you're a story now. Okay. I'm kind of unsure where that's supposed to be coming from, especially when you combine it with the previous line of she just wants to be an anonymous lawyer. I find that to be actually very, very odd. Most people get into law specifically so that they can be known. And I don't mean that because people that are lawyers are narcissists, but they want to defend the law, or they want to... I know lawyers that are one of two minds, basically. They want to either defend people by upholding the law and doing the right thing. Those are your basic defense attorneys. Well, not basic. That's the basic outlook of defense attorneys. And then you have those who are... I don't want to say activists, but that's kind of the mindset, is they want to go in and they want to help effectuate change within the law by arguing these certain cases. And those could be defense lawyers or prosecutors. And so either way, your name is going to get known. Somebody who is a lawyer and who has the mindset of, I just want to remain anonymous, that's very weird. That's very odd. I mean, as a lawyer, you're going to be arguing in front of a courtroom, so regardless, you're going to be heard in front of minimum dozens of people. So I don't understand really, honestly, where that comes from. Especially, you're a debater when you're a lawyer. You're a debater and a researcher, and you talk in front of people. So that's a very, very weird mindset to have as a lawyer, to me. And I would very much like to know what's going on in this scene here, picking up this phone. It looks like it's leading into that scene later on where she's swiping through the dating apps, but not quite sure.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now.
And that, oh my goodness, I get what they're, I get what they're leading into, which is, if you look at her, she's very pretty, as her, quote, human self, but she's not gorgeous. At least, they don't make her out to be a gorgeous person. Of course, her figure is completely different as She-Hulk, which that's what they're leaning into, especially if you look at this photo. That's specifically what they're doing. If you look at her pose, she has a thinner waist, a much more defined upper body and lower body. And so, of course, they're leaning into her assets, quite literally. But, you know, in today's political and social climate, I don't know, the comment was kind of interesting about how her ass just looks crazy. It's funny because it's, you know, very female empowerment, but at the same time, it's pointing it out so that, you know, if a guy notices, like, how dare you notice? So as a man, I just think that was very interesting for them to say that. So just a little bit of a socio-political commentary on that part. Please, nobody take that to heart. I just thought it was interesting and I wanted to point that out. And then, of course, this part, the you'll like her when she's angry. I do think it's funny. Of course, it's a play on the Hulk's, you know, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I do understand why they did it. I think it's a little blasé. But at the same time, it is a funny play on the usual wording.
You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
Okay, now two things. One, what was just going on here. Well, three things actually. It looks like she transformed probably out of anger and fear when I guess somebody came up behind her and wrapped their arms around her. Looked like a miner, like somebody with a hard hat with the flashlight on it or the light on it. So that looks like either a miner or a night construction worker. And of course she transforms and throws him over her shoulder. And then her wording that being superhero is only for narcissists and billionaires and adult orphans. I'm not 100% sure what they're getting at there because, well, I want to break down that last part, the adult orphan part. So are you saying people who are orphaned when they were younger who are now adults, or people who are adults whose parents have died, like when they were adults? Because that phrasing is just very interesting. I mean, honestly. Adult orphans. I know it's a little bit of a tangent here, but words matter. So are you saying Tony Stark, because he was orphaned when he was younger, so he's now an adult orphan, and he's also a billionaire, and he is a narcissist, so he does actually fit all three of those. Although he has one of the greatest character arcs in Marvel's in the MCU so far, so he actually gets redeemed a lot in there. But he fits all three of those categories, so but does that still make him an adult orphan, or is he just an adult who was orphaned? That's just a very interesting breakdown. Again, I might have forgotten to mention at the beginning of this video, but I get pretty pedantic, and so I apologize if you don't like that, but, you know, too bad. That's just how I am. The narcissist part, that's not always the case. I mean, take a look at Hawkeye. Hawkeye is definitely not a narcissist, especially in the MCU. He started out as, well, as we found him, as we saw him, he started out in S.H.I.E.L.D., definitely not a narcissist. And Natasha, of course, was a Black Widow and ended up trying to be a better person. So I wouldn't say that either one of those characters are narcissists, nor are they billionaires by any stretch of the imagination. Natasha probably is an orphan, or was an orphan. I don't think Nate was, though. I don't think Hawkeye was. So, I mean, there's just two examples there that don't fit into either one of those. Granted, neither one of those are also super powered humans, so. And then we have this scene here where she is transformed, and it looks like she's about to punch someone. I'm wondering if this is somebody who is also super powered, or is she just in a courtroom and pissed off at her opponent? So this is this could be interesting right here. There he is. No, let me go back to that. This is what I was talking about. There we go. There's Abomination. He probably transforms just to show her what exactly what he is. There's Tim Roth's Abomination. And then, of course, jumping scene. She-Hulk, attorney at law.
Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
That face. Oh. That face is just so cringeworthy. Like, I get what they're doing. She's like, oh my god, what? I guess the picture she's looking at is super hot. I don't know, but at the same time, that CGI just looks so bad. You can see there, Derek. Apparently that guy's name is Derek.
30s?
Yeah, this is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh,
Should we split some fries?
let's get those to go.
And again, it's kind of realistic, but that's CGI. It just looks... You'd think over the years it would get better. Ugh. I'm not trying to criticize it too terribly much. It'll probably look a lot better when it's completely finished. It's supposed to be out in August. So, I mean, they've got a little less than 4 months to refine this, but still. Oof. But this is... This whole scene here just feels... just reeks of being written by nerds who have never felt sexual tension. That's like the only thing I can think of to describe it. Like, what could be sexy? French fries on a date. Yeah, let's write this. And of course, you know, she's She-Hulk, so she's got to be lifting him. Personally, I actually don't care. I just think it's funny. I'm not sexist. I just think this is a hilarious scene. And there we have it. Like I said, I'm not sexist. I thought that was hilarious. Overall, I'm not super enthused about it. I definitely think it might be interesting. I'll of course watch at least the first episode when it comes out. If they drop some more trailers, I'll definitely try and review those and add them on to the channel. But let me know what you guys think.